A large proportion of people are on diets and end up starving themselves to lose weight only to gain it all back, and then some. It's important to be realistic when setting a target body weight. A yo-yo diet is a cycle of weight loss, regaining, and then weight loss again. It is a pattern in which someone tries to lose weight, loses it for a time, then gains the weight and starts the process over again. Before we go on, subscribe to our channel for more new videos. There are many different ways to diet, each with its own pros and cons. Yo-yo dieting involves cutting calories and increasing them back up just as frequently to get the weight off and keep it off. This process makes weight fluctuate up and down like a yo-yo. Here are the 10 surprising facts about yo-yo dieting. Number 1. Feeling of being full and more hungry. Unfortunately, diets often come with the cost of an uncomfortable impulse of excessive consumption of food, because your body's levels of the hormone leptin have decreased. But these same diets can help you obtain the weight loss you desire, while decreasing your chance of diabetes and other chronic diseases. Fat cells secrete a hormone called leptin into the bloodstream. This tells your brain that there is enough food to eat and you should stop eating. Losing weight and exercise lead to decreased leptin levels and higher appetite. This creates a shorter feeling of being full and more hungry. Adhering to a diet can cause the body to lose muscle mass. This leads to a number of negative health effects, such as the loss of hormone production, decreased bone density, and an increase in fat storage. Most people will try a short-term diet and lose weight, but find that they regain that weight within a year. Initial weight loss is often disappointing and frustrating. However, 1 in 3 dieters ends up heavier than before they dieted. Number 2. Higher risk of having increased body fat. One study found that people who yo-yo dieted in their lifetime had a higher chance of becoming physically obese. It can also lead to other changes such as lowered cardiovascular health or mental health, which are important for a healthy weight loss regimen. During the weight gain phase of yo-yo dieting, you'll undoubtedly see your body fat percentage increasing over and over. However, it's easier to regain fat than muscle, and therefore reversing the trend will be an uphill battle. Researchers found that people who dieted in the past have a higher risk of having increased body fat, which contributes to belly fat. It's either a diet or exercise that leads to weight loss. The yo-yo effect is when we gain the weight back and then lose it again. Number 3. Leads to a decreased ability in physical strength. On weight loss diets, the body reduces the amount of muscle mass and body fat it has. In other words, weight loss can lead to a reduction in muscle mass, which can leave you more vulnerable to weight gain. But you can alleviate this by including high-quality protein sources in your diet. You should also exercise regularly for a better mass and strength balance. Losing weight will help you to maintain your muscle for a longer period of time. Because fat is mostly glycogen and water, it does not take any effort to regain this lost mass. Muscles are mainly made of protein, and lack of protein during dieting leads to a decreased ability in physical strength. People can reduce these harmful effects with exercise and strength training signals the body to start growing muscle. When someone starts a weight loss diet, the body's dietary protein requirement also increases. Eating high-quality protein sources is a way to boost efficiency during dieting and fuel muscle growth. Supplementing protein in the diet can be beneficial for losing weight, but not if done in a similar way to how people usually do. One study showed that when adults took protein supplements while participating in caloric-restrictive diets, they lost less muscle mass, and the amount of weight they had to lose was also reduced. Number 4. This diet can lead to liver disease. The liver can store excess fat, which is when it becomes a fatty liver. Weight gain can lead to fatty liver and liver disease. Human studies are needed to see how weight cycling affects fat accumulation in humans. For a lot of people, obesity poses a risk factor of developing fatty liver. Although most people know about this, very few are proactive about their weight and keeping it in check. This puts them at risk for health conditions that can have a particularly severe impact on their quality of life. Digestive problems are often the culprit in healthy weight-conserving macros. When you consume too many calories, your liver stores them as fat. This diet can cause serious long-term health issues, such as fatty liver or cirrhosis over time. Number 5. Have a higher risk of diabetes. People with fat or sugar in their liver have a higher risk of type 2 diabetes. This can be due to changes in the way the liver metabolizes fats and sugars. This puts them at risk for conditions such as diabetes and heart disease that can have a particularly severe impact on their quality of life. Some studies show that the level of risk depends on the severity and duration of weight loss. 4 out of 17 studies showed that people who were yo-yo dieters were more prone to diabetes. As diabetes and other issues due to a higher glucose level can happen at an early age. You should check in with your diabetes specialist if you notice any of these changes in your body. Although it can't be seen in all of the human studies of yo-yo dieting, it has been concluded that there is an increased risk for diabetes among those who have ended up at a higher weight than before their diets. Switching between diets or yo-yo dieting can make you more likely to develop diabetes. The best way to prevent this effect is to work towards a steady weight and eat healthfully. Number 6. It increases the chances of strokes and heart disease. There have been many studies that show that weight cycling increases the risk of coronary artery disease. When people go on a diet, they make their body use energy by burning off muscle tissue, which is essential for blood supply to the heart. While gaining weight seems like it's not a big deal individually, there are risks associated with it as well. It increases the chances of strokes and heart disease. A study of nearly 10,000 adults found that yo-yo dieting increases the risk of heart disease. In fact, if you are unlucky enough to go on a 12-day bender without any weight gains or losses, you might have a higher chance of developing heart disease than someone who maintains a normal weight. Fat, cholesterol, and sugar all play key parts in this process, so keep these factors in mind when losing weight. Number 7. An increased risk of blood pressure. Yo-yo dieting, including weight gain or loss following a diet, is also linked to an increased risk of blood pressure. University of Sussex researchers also found that the negative effects of yo-yo dieting are worse in the present day than they were decades ago. The effect of obesity on blood pressure is long-lasting and potentially irreversible. Long-term weight loss tends to be difficult, and weight gain can be hard to remedy as well. Number 8. It can lead to depression. It can be devastating to see the hard work you put into losing weight vanish after a few weeks or months of eating poorly, which is called yo-yo dieting. In fact, adults with a history of this type of lifestyle report feeling dissatisfied with their health and in general, and it's a lot harder to get back on track once you decide to start working on it. Dieters often report feeling like they're out of control, which could lead to a sense of depression, self-restraint, and negative personality traits. This is important. If you have had trouble with yo-yo dieting in the past, don't allow this to happen again. It's natural to feel discouraged when you try something and it doesn't work out so well. But all it takes is a shift in perspective, and instead of focusing on the failure, consider how much more you've achieved in other areas of your diet. And hey, what do you have to lose by trying something different? Yo-yo dieting can be a slippery slope. It can leave you feeling like you are struggling to maintain control of your life and weight. But it's not your personal weakness, it's just what you want and needs right now. If lifestyle changes aren't working for you, find other non-diet methods to try out until the addiction passes. Number 9. It can be much more harmful. Losing weight can really affect a number of important aspects, including heart health and breathing. It also helps physical fitness, mental health, and sleep quality management. In contrast, weight gain has lots of bad consequences. Yo-yo dieting can be much more harmful to you than losing weight and keeping it off. Some scientists are unsure how bad it is, but most agree that yo-yo dieting falls somewhere in between. One of the larger studies available followed 505 men aged 55 to 74 over a period of 15 years. After the end of the study, those who had seen their weight increase were found to have an 80% higher risk of dying during that year. One study found that men who are at a medium weight tend to stay the same and have an increased risk of death compared to those who fluctuate between being obese and undernourished. Men who never have weight fluctuations were also likelier to die than those with no fluctuations. Number 10. Start thinking outside of the box. Most diets suggest certain rules that you should follow. They typically last a set amount of time, like weight loss goals or the health goal. The diet plan keeps you in control of your eating habits until one has successfully reached your ideal weight. However, once the goal is achieved, it can be easy to slip back into old ways and gain weight again, which causes frustrations with yourself and others. When people consider a diet, they often overestimate the results they'll get and are disappointed with the weight gain or lack of success afterward. This can be disappointing because diets are notoriously tough to maintain. Breaking the cycle of temporary change and spending time to rest can help your mind adapt and increase your weight loss success. There is plenty of evidence that healthy habits help prevent weight gain over the years, which can lead to an improved quality of life. Gaining weight is a huge problem for many people, and sadly, it doesn't seem to be getting any better. Obesity has now reached epidemic proportions in North America. Drinking green tea daily can help speed up weight loss and overall well-being. So, here are some of the behaviors they found work in terms of long-term weight loss. 1. Choosing healthier food options. It's important to opt for foods that will help you stay on the right track. Examples of those are things like yogurt, fruits, vegetables, and tree nuts, not peanuts. 2. Avoid junk food, such as potato chips and sugary beverages. 3. Limiting starchy foods is a good way to take care of your body and avoid diabetes, chronic pain, and high cholesterol levels. It also can help you lose weight, so long as it's done in the right way. 4. Find a way to be active during the day. Some people like to work out or play sports. Others prefer more general activities like gardening. 5. Research shows that people should sleep for 6 to 8 hours a day, so set bedtime and wake up times that are good for you. 6. By limiting TV time, you can improve your health due to a lack of sedentary activity. There is a lot of evidence that successful weight loss programs include permanent lifestyle changes that help people maintain their weight for good. By avoiding the yo-yo cycle, you can maintain success and have long-term happiness. There are many long-term solutions to the problem of yo-yo dieting, so make sure you start thinking outside of the box. A simple exercise is trying your best to maintain a permanent lifestyle change with gradual weight loss and weight gain instead of temporary ones. The fact is, there are many factors involved in weight loss, and yo-yo dieting only proves to have negative effects on your health and is not a good way of losing weight. If you want to follow a healthy weight management plan, it's best to lose weight gradually and sustain it. Let your body become accustomed to the new food quantities slowly. This will also help avoid regaining, or worse, gaining weight again once appetite increases. To break the frustrating cycle and prolong your life, you should take steps that don't equate to weight loss. Like drinking more water, eating nutritious foods, and exercising regularly. Give this video a thumbs up if you like it. And make sure to comment down below and get notified so you won't miss any updates.